Hey guys, I just wanted to do a impromptu video about dating in high school in your 20s, 30s, 40s, and beyond. I basically wanted to talk about dating because in today's society, especially now, especially I would say in the last 5 years or so, dating has really changed. You know, um, it used to be the time where, guys, they ask the girls out or they ask the woman out and, the guy, they pay for the date. And now, especially now in 2014, and beyond 2014, 15, and stuff like that, some women, they pay, you know, on the dates and things like that. Anyway, I just want to touch on first about, dating in high school. And I know some of you, some of my subscribers are teenagers. And, I just wanted to talk about a little bit about dating in high school first. I know when I was in high school, like the first guy that we didn't really date. We were, seeing each other or whatever. Because, like, at 14 years old, do you really date? But, I mean, I didn't really have any money, and he really didn't have any money. But he was, like, the first guy, basically that I was, like, excited to see and talking on the phone and all this stuff. And even like back then, like when I was a teenager, I had like certain qualities that, I look for in a guy. They have to be, a person that's pretty much of their word. If they say something, they're going to do it. Also, I look for, a person that was reliable. I look for a person that was respectful to, girls and women and that sort of thing. And I know back when I was like in high school, dating, going out, seeing guys and stuff like that. As far as, saying, oh, I'm going to date this guy at 17 years old. I'm going to date this guy, and I know we're going to get married one day. I know some people, marry their high school sweethearts, but I would say a lot of us don't wind up marrying our high school sweethearts. But I just wanted to give, like, some advice to, girls that are, like, dating in high school, far as, dating is concerned. I wouldn't get too, caught up with, oh, this is my boyfriend and he has to do this thing, that thing, and this thing. And also with dating in high school, I would, encourage, girls, not to do anything, to disrespect themselves and, their family. And what I mean by that, I would, suggest that y'all, wouldn't actually, be intimate with this guy, intimate with that guy, intimate with this guy. And I know some people think this is old-fashioned. You should say, some people, they don't want to, especially nowadays, they don't want to wait for nothing. They just want to, say, okay, well, I'm going to date this guy, and I just met him yesterday, and he's going to be my boyfriend tomorrow, and by next week, we're going to be talking about getting married and scheduling wedding planners and all this stuff. Well, also, I noticed with, a lot of people, like teenagers and people like in their early 20s, they just maybe not really get to know each other, before they get intimate. You know, maybe they've known the guy for maybe like 3 weeks and they're already like intimate with the guy. And I would say, you know, you ought to wait. And I know some people think it's old fashioned to wait or even wait until marriage, but you know, there are like good reasons to, you know, wait until you are with someone in like a stable relationship, committed relationship like marriage. But that's a whole nother video. But anyway, and then also, you know, I want to talk about dating in your 20s. You know, a lot of women think, you know, oh, I'm in my 20s. You know, I gotta hurry up and find my husband before I turn 25. I know, you know, I was like that. You know, especially when I turned 24. I was like, oh my gosh, I need to, you know, hurry up and get a husband, because a lot of people around my age, like when I turned 24, were getting married. A lot of people were getting married. A lot of people were having, you know, children and things like that. So, you know, I was starting dating these guys, and one guy in particular, I dated him for way too long than I should have, because I felt, you know, pressured that I needed, you know, to be dating somebody, or I needed a man in my life, and then I need to hurry up, you know, and get that relationship going, so maybe, you know, we can get married. And I say, you know, if you, you know, feel that way, that's not the right way to feel. I think you need to get to know the person. I think that also I would suggest that that person should have the same, well, the same morals that you have, the same values that you have. You know, if you think, if you have like a certain belief, that person should have the same belief that you have as well. You should, you know, have a person in your life that complements you. And also, you should, you know, look for someone that respects you, not, you know, someone that's like verbally abusing you, or, you know, someone that's dogging you out. You know, I wouldn't say do not do that at all. You know, because I remember years ago, I was working at this place, and this lady, you know, she was, her boyfriend, it was her live-in boyfriend, and they were living together for years and years and years. And they weren't married or anything, but they were living together, and he treated her like crap. I remember one day I needed a ride home, because it was like an ice storm going on, and I needed a ride. So she offered to have her boyfriend to, you know, give me a ride home, because we pretty much lived in the same area. So tell me why, y'all. During that ride home, they actually got into an argument about just craziness. Just like they got into an argument about, I can't even remember what it was about, but yeah, I mean, they were cursing, and he was telling her she better do this, and just cursing and all this stuff. And I was like, no. And he was being very disrespectful. And I'll never forget, I was like in the back seat of his vehicle. And like we stopped by a store, and she got out the car, and she went inside the store, and I guess he saw like my facial expression after they got in an argument, and he like looked in the rear mirror and was like, oh, I'm sorry, but you know, whatever. He was like trying to apologize or whatever. But I was like, if he fusses and they carry on like that in front of company, I can only imagine how it is with those two just by themselves. You know, it's just crazy. And I was like, and she's not even married to this dude. But eventually, years later, they got married, you know, and I'm not sure how that's going. I haven't talked to her in a while. But, yeah, so, like, in your 20s, I would say, you know, take your time, get to know a person, you know, don't try to rush into anything. And my personal belief, I don't think people should, you know, be living together, you know, especially when you're like only 22, 23 before you're married. just living together. And some women, they live together for years with the guy, 6 and 7 years, and they then had 2 children, and they're just living with the guy. Then next thing you know, they broke up. And it's kind of like after they broke up, he moves out, and the dude, he's like scot-free, but the lady, she's like maybe like 28, 29, maybe 30 by now, and she has these 2 children to take care of, and she has to handle him for child support and all this stuff. But and she kind of, like, some people, I think they waste their years if they do it that way. And by the time you're 30, and I know, some people, when they're dating in their 30s, especially if they're not married by their 30, there is kind of like sometimes, you feel like, oh my gosh, let me hurry up and get married. I need to hurry up and have at least, 1 child by the time I'm like 31 years old. So, I wouldn't say that you should rush that way either. But, I would say you need to look for somebody, with quality. You definitely don't need to be dating somebody and you just met them, and then by the second date, you done already, then told them everything, then told all your secrets. Some people, they done got intimate with this person on the second date, and I would definitely not say do something like that, But yeah, and even like if you're like in your 40s and you're your 50s, and by this time, by 40 and 50 years old, you probably may have been married for a while and the marriage didn't work out. You're divorced now, and you're going back into the dating scene. Now there's a lot of people dating online. I know I tried dating online a couple of years ago, and it was okay, from my experience. I only did it for like a month or so, but I mean, at the time, it was fun. I got a chance to learn a lot about myself. So for people like that in their 40s and 50s and maybe 60s, I would say give online dating a shot, but I would say be careful, because I would not, in my profile, give out my real name. Like when I did do online dating 2 years ago, I did not give out, like my real name. I even like the guy that I was talking to, basically, we exchanged messages back and forth for a while before we even started talking on the phone. And then I waited at least about 2 or 3 weeks before we actually, met up in person in a public place. That's very, important. Yeah, like I would just say, for like people that's like more mature, like in your 40s, 50s, and beyond, maybe 60s, 70s, and just going back in the dating world, I would, just basically, tell them to, take their time, get to know a person. A lot of people these days, they don't take their time to get to know a person. And when I say get to know a person, try to figure out what activities they like, what their values are, what they feel about family, their family values, and that sort of thing. Get to know what their political views as well. So basically, with dating, especially now, it's a different world than it was, I would say, like way back in the day, like in the 60s or whatever, but yeah, just let me know, what are y'all thoughts about, dating, and dating in high school, and dating in college, and beyond. Just leave y'all comments down below. And if y'all have any questions, just let me know, okay? Talk to y'all later. Bye.